In this video, we are going over the core trading skill of risk management. Now, this is an absolutely essential skill if we ever want to get very good and master the art of trading. If we want maximum returns, we have to have very small losses but huge winners. And the way to do this is through risk management. So the mastery of risk management is being able to risk the smallest amount of money in order to catch the biggest moves. So let's get into how do we train this skill. So in order to have great risk management, we must understand that we can only control 4 things. The first is what we buy. Now this is what stocks we choose to buy. This is covered by the first skill, which is setup recognition. 2 is when we buy stocks. This is also covered by the first skill. But 3 is how much we buy. Now this is what we're going to talk about today, along with number 4, which is when we sell. We have to focus on these 2 things in combination with these other 2 in order to have great risk management. So how much we buy. Now the rule I have here is never risk more than 2% of your account in one trade. So for example, you would have a 20% position with a 10% stop. That would be your maximum risk on one trade. Now the reason we do this is there's always going to be tons of incredible setups and stocks to buy during a bull market. So there's no sense to risk more than 2% of your account just in case something crazy happens. And in order to decide how much we should buy of a stock, whether to do a 10% position or a 30% position, we want to know how good is the setup, which is also required by skill number 1. So definitely check out that video. And next is when we sell. So the first rule is to never, ever have a stop over 10%. And the reason we should never break this rule is if you look here at this chart, we can see that losses compound as well. So if you have a 10% loss, it's not that bad. You only need an 11% gain to break even. But say you have something like a 60% loss, you now have to make 150% just to make that up. And you can see it gets even crazier as it goes. So that is why we must cut all of our losses at 10% no matter what. We do not want compounding losses to eat up our entire account. Next, we need to know our stop placement before we buy. Now the stock market loves to play off your emotions, and if we can combat that any way we can, we'll be a lot better off. Now this is one way to do that. So before you buy a stock, know exactly where you're going to put your stop loss and set it there as soon as you buy and do not change it. Let's say our trade actually starts to go positive. Here we want to sell half of our position after 3 to 5 days. And the reason this is now we've turned it into a win-win trade. So even if it starts going back down, at least we've sold a half and locked in half our gains at the higher price. Or let's say it continues to go up. At least we still held on to half our position and now we're gaining even more on that. And after you've sold half, you definitely want to move your stop loss up to break even. So at the point you entered your stock. So if we follow these sell rules, we'll have a much greater chance of taking small losses and huge gains. So if we can really dig deep and master the skill of risk management, we will have a deep understanding and love of our losses. So we really need to understand that the stop loss enables us to make big gains. It is pretty much like the insurance policy on our trading. We have to fall in love with taking very small losses and get excited about that. Also, one of my favorite Quamagi quotes is the best traders take the best losses. So risk management is such an essential skill in order to get incredible returns. So I hope y'all would join me in trying to master it. If y'all have anything to add about risk management, how we can master it faster, let me know in the comments and I'll see y'all in the next video.